in a cloudy place with so many childhood tears filling up a salty lake. She sits down at her mama's baby grand. No one ever taught her how, so it pours out from her hands. Black keys, they speak to me, pull me out of the darkness. Black keys, they speak to me, don't play on the white ones. They sound too sweet, living in the black keys. Oh, staying in the black keys. Oh, you're so pretty when you smile. They tell her it will be okay, but your sad face away. She can't hide from a world breaking down. She lifts the velvet cover, lets the sadness out. Black keys, they speak to me, they pull me out of the darkness. It's the black keys that speak to me, don't play it on the white ones. They sound too sweet, I'm living in the black keys. Oh, I'm staying in the black keys. Oh, in a quiet house with nowhere to rest. It's the dark half notes that fill the holes in her chest. She's been staying, staying, staying. She's been singing, I'm still living in the black keys. Living in the black keys. Oh, black keys, they speak to me, pull me out of the darkness. It's the black keys that speak to me, don't play on the white ones. They sound too sweet, living in the black. I'm living keys. In the black. Oh, staying in the black. I'm staying keys. In the black. Oh, living in the black. I'm living keys. In the black. Oh, staying in the black keys. Oh.
And lived down there for a little while and would come back to Utah all the time, and I would work out with these girls, and there was a new girl one day and was like, oh my gosh, you live in Nashville, you've got to meet one of my best friends, Ashlee. She has this really interesting story. She's played violin all of her life, and her mom had a brain tumor while she was growing up, and she grew up taking care of her, and she passed away when she was young. And I was like, oh my gosh, Shelly, that's my story. I grew up playing violin. My mom passed away when I was 17 from a brain tumor. And I just had chills all over my body. And I'm like, I have got to meet this girl.
We met up in East Nashville, and then we saw each other. We're like, we know each other.
Oh, that was so crazy.
And we're like, wait. Who was your violin teacher? And we figured out we had been going to group lessons for like 12 years of our life, every week. You know, spending an hour a week with each other, but never speaking because we had bad attitudes. We didn't want to be there.
I didn't want to be there.
And our parents made us crazy. And it's like the stars aligned for these 15 years later to meet in Nashville.
We're both songwriters, so we're just like, oh, we should totally get together and write. And she's like, do you have anything on your mind? You know, and I told her about my story about writing my first song, and I was in the spelling bee championship, me and this other girl, and we were spelling this word, and I just remember there was this commotion from the back of the room where my mom was sitting. And at that time, she would have seizures all the time, and I would just almost pray every single day. I would just say, please don't let my mom have a seizure today. If anyone has ever seen someone have a seizure, especially a loved one, it is traumatic. And at recess, there was this little boy just imitating my mom, having a convulsion, and was like, what was the matter with your mom? And I will never forget that. Like, I was so embarrassed and just mortified that because I didn't understand what was going on, and so I couldn't explain to anyone else. And so I was sent home to take care of my mom, and she was resting, and the house was just so silent. And I had so much anger inside me. I was so emotional. It's not like I could call up my friend and be like, hey, do you want to come over for tea? I've got to talk. I mean, you're not like emotionally ready or emotionally mature like that when you're 12. And so I just went over to the piano, and I was like, well, what if I just played the black keys? And so I took out all of my emotion on the black keys. I'll never forget how great that felt, and how cathartic and how therapeutic that songwriting process was. And I was addicted. I was like, oh my gosh. And that was my first song I ever wrote, Red Letter Day, on the first album I did. And I told you that story.
Yeah, and when you're faced as a child with all that emotional realness, and your friends are like worried about what they're wearing, or then as you get to high school, it's like, who's cool? And you're like, I'm just worried about the fact that people in my family are dying and sick. And it's hard to connect to people. And this song is like, it was taken from that childhood time, and now seeing the other side. It's been 11 years since my mom passed away, and it's 17 for her mom. And now we're on the other side. And although you never get over losing your loved ones, you can definitely heal. And through music, thank goodness, and just knowing that they're around us too, all the time. So we wrote this Black Keys song to commemorate the child and all of us, that's sitting at the Black Keys, and hope that it heals you the way that it's healed us.